I know what. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This video, we're just gonna jump right into it. Okay, we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna talk about Doja Cat and what usually isn't the nitty-gritty of what isn't talked about with interracial relationships. We're about to get deep. Okay, so basically Doja Cat is getting backlash simply because like what happened was Lana Del Rey, who, if you don't know, I mean, she's a very, I guess, a very different type of artist. She's very eclectic in terms of her sound. She's very 19, she sort of sings about, I would say she has a very 1950s vibe in terms of her aesthetic and her look. But the things that she talks about or sings about, a lot of times has been criticized for being kind of romanticizing abuse, more or less into like Lolita, kind of glorifying Lolita kind of relationships where not quite underage, but not quite right either. Relationships in which that are, in her words, not perfect. So she released a statement. This whole Doja Cat thing just came from, it started with Lana Del Rey, okay? Now Lana Del Rey is just like over there. I'm sure she's over there like, ooh, and ooh, I did not just start this. So, she released a statement basically talking about how, some big name artists, one of which she included Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, Ariana Grande, and so many other artists, including Doja Cat, talking about, sexuality and, being cheated on and being cheated with and all kinds of things. And she was really upset that, she was thinking these women don't get as much backlash and actually they're praised for it. But when she does things very similar to that, she gets backlash. Now, fast forward, Doja Cat replied and said, she did a very strange cryptic reply to Lana Del Rey's post or statement, and people now started to kind of bring the cat out of the bag, should you say, about Doja Cat, and which is kind of sad, because some of the things that she has said, and up until very recently, actually, this is not just years ago, this is very recently, it has been kind of disappointing to see that she's been involved. Basically, she's accused of being involved in racist incel chat groups. Basically, she's been accused in the past of homophobic replies and saying the F word. Now she's also, there are videos of, apparently people are trying to expose her, or these incel groups that she was, video chatting with. She would allow them to call her the N word. Now, and the whole of Twitter is erupting. People want to cancel her. The hashtag is going about hashtag Doja Cat cancel party. Doja Cat is over party. People are going in on her. Even her Instagram, people were like, and especially the Black community, because this is somebody who was identified. Well, she never actually identified as being Black. She identified as being mixed race, mixed with white, which is what she is. However, it's been the fact that she's been profiting off a genre of music, and sort of a style and aesthetic of Black culture. And then now we find that she's actually not about that life, and she's actually probably, not probably, but from what we see, is a closeted racist. Now going back in time, there were, a few months ago, or a few weeks ago actually, there was a something that surfaced online about her father when she met Whoopi Goldberg, who had worked with her dad in the past, and this man was not a part of her life. He's a South African man, which is also very disappointing to see because there are some great fathers, great African fathers, and they're just, he's one of the guys who's not such a great father figure. And she said she's never met him. Now she's been on this earth 20 something years and she's never met this man. He's never reached out. Really? That's quite sad. And I think she was meeting Whoopi Goldberg, and she, Whoopi was telling her more of her dad than she knew, and she's actually replied awkwardly saying, I've actually never met him. So this is going into the issues, coming into the psychology of biracial children in terms of mixed race relationships. But we'll get to that later, right? So as of this backlash, this morning, she actually put up a statement on her Instagram, while limiting the comments that can be put on her Instagram pages. And it said, I want to address what's been happening on Twitter. I'm just going to read this right now. Okay. I've used public chat rooms to socialize since I was a child. I shouldn't have been on some of those chat room sites, but I personally have never been involved in any racist conversations. That's not true, because we heard you saying what you said. This wasn't somebody else. This was not an imposter. This was you, baby girl. So don't try it. What do you mean not being involved in racist conversations? You literally have. There is literal proof. Anyway, I'm sorry to everyone that I offended. I'm sorry to everyone that I offended. Okay. I'm a black woman. Half of my family is black, from South Africa, and I'm very proud of where I come from. That's not what you said before. And she's always identified as mixed. Now she's coming up with, I'm a black woman. Okay. As for the old song that resurfaced, going back to this, talking about this song, there was a song called Don't Do Nothing, which is a racial slur. I didn't know this as a, black Brit, that, sort of used in America, I think, more or less, more in America, Don't Do Nothing. British culture has its own sort of set of racist words that are used predominantly. And basically, the song basically says Don't Do Nothing is the slur is about dealing with police brutality and sort of minimizing black people's experience, and the reply, to when, police sort of get involved, in a very offhanded way to black people, the answer is didn't do nothing. And so this is used as another one is kings. We was kings. I've seen that one quite online very often. So that's the background of the song, and she's referring to it here where she says, as for the old song that resurfaced, it was in no way tied to anything outside of my own personal experience. It was written in response to someone who often used that term to hurt me. I made an attempt to flip its meaning, but recognized that it was a bad decision to use the term in my music. I understand my influence, impact, and I'm taking this all very seriously. Are you? Because you should release the actual statement through your PR team, not just on Instagram. But okay. I love you all, and I'm sorry for upsetting or hurting any of you. That's not my character. I'm determined to show that to everyone moving forward. Thank you. Okay. Now, here's the problem. Rather than denying the fact that there is truth, this is one thing that pisses me off. If you've been caught red-handed, your card's up. Put your hands up. Just, you know what? I fucked up. Admit. The thing is, people are going to believe you more with you being honest and saying, actually, yeah, I did fuck up, than trying to hide when literally you're being presented with the truth right here. Like, yo, here it is on a platter. There's chat after chat after chat, videos after, videos. People are talking about this. There is proof coming out. Some of these assholes are even trying to blackmail you, and these are the guys who you're happily chatting to. So, baby girl, make it make sense. Please make it make sense. Now, this is now leading into the problem of when we talk about interracial relationships, and people actually don't delve into the nitty-gritties of what can happen, the racism that happens in interracial relationships. The media always likes to perpetuate interracial relationships as this halo of a cure to racism. No, it is not. As someone who's been in interracial relationships in the past, someone who now identifies as a pro-black person, I do understand both hands and both sides of things. In the interracial relationships that I personally was in, I found that I had to, one, censor myself in many times when there was passive aggressiveness towards me by my non-black partner. I found that, there were certain situations that I would be uncomfortable with, and I would find that my non-black partner would sort of, participate and in enjoyment with it, whether it was him directly or it was someone else. So for instance, at a party, also a lot of internalized racism would happen, either consciously or unconsciously on both ends. I also take responsibility for my side, and now looking back and saying, wow, there were so many things and so many signs that I missed, and I've grown, from those situations. I've now learned what is necessary in any relationship, and especially for interracial relationships. Now, personally, I probably wouldn't do an interracial relationship again, simply because of my experiences in the past. There are many people who, who would probably be up in arms with me, like, oh, how dare you? Love is love. Well, love ain't just love, okay? Sometimes you need more than just love. And into being in an interracial relationship doesn't negate or change the fact of certain hard conversations needed to take place. Doja Cat is an example of this. This was a child, who was born out of an interracial relationship. Father bounced. That's, abandonment issues going on in there. She was never really integrated into and taught about her black side, or to love her black self, her black side, black culture. She just learned to sort of appreciate it when it financially made sense, but she actually never internalized that love for herself. This is another thing when you're looking at interracial relationships. People don't actually look ahead into, hold on, what are the things that are going to happen in this relationship that we need to address within us. Okay, interracial relationships are not, people would give this pedestal of amazing love and every love conquers all. No, it doesn't. I'm here to tell you, no, it does not. In an interracial relationship especially with children, these children most of the time will end up identifying more as black. Not every single time, but will end up being either themselves being identified as black, like identify within themselves, or other people going, you are black and there is nothing you can do or say to me that would change that. I see you as a black person. There's on I think TikTok, there is this video that's going viral right now of some beef between two girls, one being a biracial black girl and the other being a white girl. And I think the biracial girl called out this white girl on some quite insensitive posts, and her response was, I'm talking to the black thing. So this was a biracial girl who the white girl identified as being black. So when children are usually born into interracial relationships, they tend to get identified as black. Anything other than fully white or fully, yeah, I would say mostly fully white, they tend to be identified more with the black side, especially if there's a black interracial partner in that child's DNA. So, but with Doja Cat, she actually didn't identify. There are many other celebrities who are known for doing that as well. Meghan Markle, who is also, one of the most famous, I guess, women in the world right now because she's married to Prince Harry. She doesn't fully identify as black. She identifies as mixed race. Now, here's my thing. Identify as what you want to identify as. But don't start switching places when it's convenient for you, honey. Okay, don't start switching places. There needs to be some sort of growth. And I think Doja Cat needs help. She needs healing. Her father should have been in her life rather than skipping and bouncing. Now, a few weeks ago when he was asked, like, are you in contact with your daughter? He then goes on to say, oh, her management team is not letting me talk to her. Why are you waiting till her management team, sir? Why are you waiting till her management team answers? Why are you not, let me repeat, why are you not in contact with your daughter before she blew up? Or is this suddenly now that she's a big thing? Oh, I must get involved and talk to my child. Mate, you lost that chance. This girl should have been fully ingratiated in South African culture, in South Africa, like everything South African, because that's, as you say, she's a South African child. Well, she doesn't feel like it. You can see from how she's talking. She doesn't feel like it. She's upset that her hair texture is the way it is. She goes into incel chats, racist incel chats. So you dropped the ball. Now, her mom wouldn't, I don't know what was going on with the situation with her mom. Has there been any contributing factor? Has her mom actually allowed this? Has she, has her mother not tried to sort of get her in contact with black culture? What, I can't fully grasp the whole situation because obviously I'm not directly involved in that. But we have to address the things that go on, when it comes to interracial relationships. It's only when racism comes in that's when people realize that interracial relationships are not the be and end all of this magic post-racial society that we live in. Suddenly, racism does not go away because you're in an interracial relationship. If anything, it can actually make things worse. Look at Brazil. One of the most racially diverse countries, largest countries in the world. Look at what's going on in there. Racism does not disappear. Just because you're in an interracial, it's a choice of a partner that you have chosen. It does not mean that issues, especially to do with racism, does not come. Okay? And you have to address that within yourself before you choose to lay down with someone else of a different nationality, of a different race. Because those issues will arise. And when they do, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to pretend that it doesn't exist? Or are you going to say, love conquers all, we'll deal with it when we get there? These are hard conversations that people need to have that I didn't know at the time when I was in interracial relationships until I got to actually experience these things. And I was like, oh, so love doesn't conquer all after all. I want to thank you guys for listening to my TED Talk. And please do subscribe. Please comment down below. And please, I want to hear your thoughts as well on what you think. Let's get this chat going. And love.